I survived on 1 cent for 1 week. It was posted 10 months ago and currently it has over 21 million views. And here is what I learned. First of all, let's analyze the thumbnail. Ryan could have made the thumbnail to look something like this. It doesn't look nice, but it's logical. Ryan uses the rule of thirds. You split your thumbnail into thirds, and those 4 focus points are where you should place the objects you want to focus on. This makes the thumbnail more pleasing to look at and easier to grab the eye of the viewer. Try your best to apply the rule of thirds to your thumbnails. Ryan could have changed the text in the thumbnail to something like surviving on $0.01 for an entire week. But if you zoom out the thumbnail, you will find that it becomes much harder to read, much longer to process. Make sure to only use 0 to 2 words in your thumbnail. When you see the title and the thumbnail of Ryan's video, what are the assumptions you make? You assume that the video will be him trying to survive on 1 cent for an entire week. How will he find the money for food? How will he find the money for shelter? If the assumptions you make about your video are not intriguing enough, if you are struggling to come up with ideas to make your video 10 minutes, well, guess what? The viewer is also struggling to find reasons why he should spend 10 minutes watching your video as well. Make sure your title and thumbnail pose a really intriguing assumption. This video is packed with lots of extreme moments that happen in this video. There is tons of thumbnail ideas. The one thing Ryan didn't do is include more than one thought in the thumbnail. He could have included how he turned a cent into $50, which he does during the video, but he stuck to just one simple idea. Make sure to choose only one thought per thumbnail. And now for the video part. I wrote down 10 points and here are them. You can easily get lost in a 25-minute video. That's why Ryan put a counter at the bottom of the screen to make sure if the viewer's mind wandered off, he doesn't just click off. He knows where Ryan currently is in his journey and he continues with the video. Add graphics to your videos that help show progress. Another way to show progress in your videos is to show transformation, where you used to be and what you are going to do now. A cool way to do that is to film some B-roll. A-roll is basically me talking to the camera. B-roll is basically cool shots with music in the background or cool shots of whatever I'm talking about right now. I picked my camera yesterday. I dropped my camera. That was B-roll. Record the B-roll footage to help show progress. A video like that is really hard to film and most importantly, really hard to record the audio for. That's why Ryan used the subtitles in his video. Every word that isn't quite audible, he used the subtitles to make up for it. And even the subtle body expressions that the camera couldn't pick up, he added them. But also, make sure not to overuse subtitles. It can be really not broadly appealing, but we will get into that at the end of the video. Use subtitles to help your video when needed, just don't overuse them. Another interesting thing I found is that Ryan explains everything he's about to do in the video. He is going to buy some candy to sell, he sits down and explains every part of the plan. To help the viewer keep track of his journey and build up the story of the video, so make sure you do it. Explain every next step of your video. And a good way to do that is to record everything that happens. Ryan recorded footage for everything he possibly can get his hands on. If you have something you want to say and don't know if it is going to make it into the video or not, just say it. And if you don't like it, you can always just edit it out in the editing process. Better more footage than less. But let's say you forgot to explain something or it turned out another way. You can always record some more footage when you get back, like Ryan did in this video. There is lots of footage of him commentating over the video in his house after he finished the challenge during the editing process. Record the commentary for your video if it involves a story. The weird thing I noticed with this video, Ryan barely used any music in his video. 90% of the video's audio is clear off of music. The only times he used the music was like in the B-roll transition footage. But other than that, trading chocolate, sitting on the floor, eating his food, commentating on the video, there is zero music. Make sure to use music just when it makes sense. Something else I noticed, I'm not sure if he meant it or not, but at 5:16 he quickly shows some text and hides it faster than you can read it. This might be just because it's funny, or it's a retention booster. You won't read the text, so you rewind back to read it again, leading to a spike in the audience retention. Whether he meant it or not, I strongly recommend against it. I said this in a Skillshare course of mine. When you are watching a movie and you pause it, it becomes so much easier for you to stop watching and go do something else. Let's say 100 viewers decided to rewind the video or pause it, well, you will only have 90 left after they do that. So it will actually decrease the audience retention. Don't distract the viewer to pause or rewind the video. The video didn't need to be 25 minutes. It could easily be 15 minutes and still has that same warm feeling of sharing Ryan's stories with him. Don't get me wrong, the video was really entertaining overall, but there were like a lot of segments I felt really bored watching and that felt repetitive. I think this is because this video is 10 months old. Ryan's videos now don't have any dull moments, but that's the thing I wanted to highlight. This video went viral with 21 million views, and as I told you, it can easily be 10 minutes shorter. Worry about your audience retention, but it's not the main thing that gets a video to go viral. Now to a point I think is a really crucial point of the success of this video. This video's pace is not that slow or is not that fast. It's about 17 cuts per minute, which is moderately paced, which brings me to a really important concept: broad appeal. Videos that are slow-paced tend to get watched by the elderly people, and the videos that are fast-paced tend to be watched by the young teenagers and below that. But Ryan keeps the video moderately paced, which makes the video broadly appealing to everyone. More cuts or more graphics sometimes can hurt your audience retention if it's hard to keep up with and enjoy. Set your videos based to the demographic you are targeting. Make your video moderately paced if you want maximum impressions. That gets us to the final, most important point. Make sure you deliver and over-deliver on the assumptions made about your video. Make sure to give the viewers the exact same intriguing assumptions he made about the video when he decided to click on it. Take a screenshot to keep the notes we discussed in mind, and if you are struggling to understand the performance of your videos, I would definitely go and watch this video, which goes in depth about what intriguing assumptions mean and how to use it to get more views.